All right, everybody out here watching on YouTube. So I'm going to tell you this real quick. DoorDash is tearing this family apart. Let me tell you. So I've been doing DoorDash ever since New Year's, and I'm watching various tips and tricks videos, watching all this stuff, the ins and outs of DoorDash, and I'm going to tell you straight up from my heart. There was a lot of motivational, dashers out there that got me motivated to do DoorDashing, and when I saw how much money you can make, I was just like, man, this is for me. I can be my own boss. I can set my own hours. But I saw a video last night that really addressed some of the issues that DoorDash has actually experienced, or DoorDash drivers is experiencing. The oversaturation of DoorDash drivers, being penalized for declining orders that are way, in Timbuktu somewhere, and you're only getting compensated. So from my standpoint, it's still a way to make some really fast money, but is it worth the wear and tear on your vehicle? Is it worth your time? Not really. I'm going to be focusing on doing something else with my time. I thought about if anyone knows if there's a way to stack basically while you're out there doing something else productive while you're in that area, but I don't know. So, to me, it's not worth it. I've definitely, gotten out here and saw for myself. But let me talk about some things that people are not going to do. Okay, so for the aspect of customers tipping you, okay, they're not going to do it. We live in an economy now where everyone has cards. Okay, now you can be nice, you can be cordial, you can be all this stuff, but a lot of times people say I've done deliveries, and they say, oh, I'll just tip you on the app, and I look back, hours later, no tip. And also, too, is people are trying to be cheap. People don't got money to just throw out to the delivery driver. I paid $5 for a hamburger. I'm going to give you a $5 for your troubles. That's not going to happen. And probably depending on in some areas where you are doing deliveries, you may see tips. But the area I'm in, there's a lot of people ordering fast food, cheap, inexpensive fast food, and they're not trying to up the bill by tipping me. So that's kind of a delusion. And then also too, as I see these videos where people got the whiteboard out and they're like, this, your dead miles and dead miles. And it's just like, well, if there's that much tips and tricks and magic or stuff that you have to do in the DoorDash delivery service, then you're not going to make good money. If you have to fandangle this and do that, it's not going to work. Customer service is important. I understand that aspect, but I've had one incident, and I'm not going to go any further with that, but when you have customers that do not answer the call and aren't available, and then the driver gets penalized for them not picking up the order, I still saw my ratings go down after a customer didn't pick up the phone or whatever, and I walked out in the cold for 30 minutes trying to find the person's address, stopped and saw other neighbors. Hey, do you know where this address is? And at night, I'm a black man. I'm not trying to be walking around with a flashlight, shining it at this, shining it at that, because people are on edge when they see me. So I'm not going to do that. So I strictly stuck to doing deliveries during the day, and stuff like that. But and also to eliminate the stress of the DoorDash, I only do really small increments. I'll do an hour here, hour there. But the return on that is not worth it. I mean, sometimes the interaction going around seeing people, I've been out doing DoorDash and I ran into old friends, I ran into coworkers, I ran into people, just nice people, some wait staff, all that. So that aspect of it keeps you going. People enjoy getting out and interacting with people and stuff. But then there's going to be other times where, you're delivering food to people that, really they consume fast food on a day-to-day basis, and they're just not the most upbeat kind of people. So, and they're just going to snatch the food, and this guy mentions they're just going to snatch the food and be about their business, so. And I don't expect DoorDash or any company to charge people extra for fast food. I mean, it's fast food. Now, the other high-end restaurants I would expect, whatever, but this is definitely not going to work. And the company itself, I don't know how they're going to fix this. because to me, what's going to happen is the company is going to implode, because it's just, the oversaturation, not compensating the drivers, and you're just going to have a quick turnaround of people that say, I'm not doing this no more, and then new people come on. Oh man, I can make some money, and they see the motivational videos, and they see the people out there doing it. When I first started looking, $700 a week off of driving, shoot, I can do that. And then you get into it, and you're just like, okay, this is not working. So for the new people for the new year, my focus was is paying off debt. So I need to find another legit side hustle. I mean, I may get lucky here and there with Doordash, an order may pop up, but I'm not gonna. Last night I just, came to reality. It's just like, man, this is not it. And last night I actually drove to a hot spot. I was behind Buffalo Wild Wings, and I waited and waited and waited, and I declined some orders. I declined some orders because the distance and the dollar amount weren't working out. And I ended up watching like Pacific Rim 2. I got through like half the whole movie, and then I ended up doing at the end of a delivery that paid me like $550, because I was just like, man, I just want to call it a night. And I was just like, well, let me see if they change anything. But DoorDash, and a guy also mentioned it too, is like, now the DoorDash economy is robbing from the regular delivery drivers, when they're getting paid. And now you got us running around here with the chicken with our head cut off, doing it for way less than they were paying the delivery drivers, which is, to me, is wrong. So you're gonna have, and I love technology, I love applications and all that stuff, but there's definitely going to be making it harder for other people every time we do this. Even when people said about the self-checkout cash registers at the supermarkets, taking away jobs and stuff, and it's sad, but I say, for me personally, I know that I have to become educated in technology so I can be a part of it versus being against it. But right now with DoorDash, I'm definitely, being very skeptical about the payouts and stuff, and is it worth my time and everything. And I'm getting ready to, choose a different avenue. And I may do a run here or a run there, but I'm not using this as my main source of income. And I feel sorry for the people. There's people that enjoy it, but it's robbing from them. If you are working, you're okay. So the people that are doing this full time are coming back and making these videos saying, I'm making $700 a week or whatever. Okay, but you're doing it full time. Us, the other people out here, we're doing it sporadically, and we're expecting to see, those same dollar values. And I've seen it, where I've had it on, it's been pulling me way far out. There was a ride, and I'm here in Colorado. There was a ride here that took me way up in Manitou. And that night when it took me up in Manitou, the roads were terrible. The area I went into is like really narrow roads. I had to put my truck in four-wheel. Luckily, I had a truck. If I would have had a regular car, another car, I probably would have gotten in an accident. But I had my truck. I four-wheeled up the mountain and went to this house. And then I got to the house and no tip. And not saying, like I said, not saying that I require the customer to tip me, but I should be compensated in some way by the company itself. And there's no, it doesn't look like they're going to do that in the near future or anytime. And like I said, there's these videos out here promoting the quick tips and all this different stuff. But if it's a good job, you don't want to have to do all that math and computing in your head and declining orders and doing this and because for what? When you can go out there and get another job. But no, we're definitely in a time where nobody wants to work for someone. So I can understand somebody sticking with DoorDash because none of us want to work for someone else. But you have to hold companies accountable so we're treated fairly. Last night, even after watching some of the DoorDash videos, I've thought about doing Uber, but I'm not dealing with rude customers. I'm not dealing with drunk people, and I've had friends too with that. Oh, I earn $800 a month. But one experience with a bad customer can ruin your whole reputation. and think, because, and I've worked for companies too where, thankfully, I've worked for companies where customers have came at me the wrong way and my managers have stuck up for me. I've seen, and this is both black and white. I've seen black people come in, try to pull the race card, and managers have stuck up, vice versa. So you gotta, as a company, you gotta hold people accountable. You gotta hold your drivers accountable. You gotta hold your, not automatically taking the customer's word for it, but people want to say, oh, the customer is always right, but that's wrong. Another thing that I saw too is, I saw on a Facebook page, when people post all this information, I would not post customers' information, even if it's just their name. I mean, I know it says, Jack S, but I wouldn't do that, because everyone deserves their privacy. Even like, I don't want, my stuff posted online and then they say, oh, well, Jack S paid, this money for this much food. He must got some cash, and people run up in my spot and break into my house, thinking I got, I got money. And, so that stuff, there's a lot of stuff going online that, they shouldn't do. I know people are sharing information because they're trying to, let people know, hey, this is a hot spot. Here's this over here, but don't reveal customers' information, and also too is like even negative interactions between customers. Okay. Sometimes we're not allowed, everybody on the internet, we post this, but we're not allowed to explain ourselves a lot of times. People take what they want, bits and pieces, and they point fingers and say, oh, that person was, sometimes both sides are wrong. And sometimes it's one side that's wrong. So, posted in the negative. I saw one time where on a Facebook page too, someone had an incident with someone at Walmart and they posted a picture of the lady. And I was just like, damn, I was like, the lady might have been just having a bad day. I mean, and then you want, then she's got to be bombarded on Facebook with someone saying some crazy stuff, people sending people death threats, all this crazy stuff. No, you can't, you shouldn't do that. We have to, we have to hold everybody to a higher standard. And for the most time, I find when people are short with me, and I try not to put it back with them. A lot of times people catch themselves and call back and say, hey, I'm sorry, or this is going on. I've been at different places where people have blown up at me, and I kind of change my demeanor and stuff, and I say, hey, and then I find out that their anger is not directed at me. It's something else that happened before. Even with these DoorDash delivery drivers, if you go up and do a delivery, and the guy will be like, man, last time the dude couldn't even find my freaking address, and it's just like, okay, but did you, as a customer, did you do everything that you could to guide the person into where you live at, and and everything, and a lot of people, I've noticed this about people that live in major cities, because I used to hang out in DC a long time ago, but people in DC were the most horrible at giving directions. They knew how to get from home to where, but you be like, hey, I'm over here. They couldn't, I don't know. I just know how to get from home to, and a lot of people are like that. They're not really good at giving directions. Sometimes I called a customer and I was asking for directions, and they're like, and I'm like, I can't understand you. And then finally she spoke up. And then when I made the delivery, I called and I said, hey, I'm here with your delivery. And then she was like, yeah, and I was like, what? I can't understand it. Oh, my friend is sitting out there waiting. And her friend is sitting like right across from me, looking at me, and she's not approaching me like, okay, I'm here to get her food. So, a lot of, and the way you, like I said, the way you can compensate DoorDash drivers and keep everybody, their mind right, is by compensating them in pay. They're not going to get all freaked. They're going to be like, hey, regardless, I'm going to wait here. I'm going to do this because they're getting compensated. But when you're trying to like, oh man, this customer's taking me forever. And, I want to make another run. And all these, people with the dry erase board, they got all these. Nah, you're not going to do that. So, thanks for all the people that, have been motivational, talking about DoorDash. But I'm going to keep it real, and the company and all companies are going to have to, like I said, Well, they're not going to. If we allow them to use us, they're going to use us. So you got to ask yourself, I'm going to be part of the problem or part of the solution. So, and a lot of times, okay, so with the DoorDash Pay, a lot of times that quick cash is good. But in the end, when you got to pay and when you get hit with taxes and the wear and tear on your vehicle. Now, I just got new tires. So, and here's the thing about wear and tear, people, that I say in the back of my mind when I started doing DoorDash, I said, I really don't care about wear and tear because outside DoorDash, I'm putting wear and tear on my vehicle anyway. I don't sit in the house all day. Sometimes I drive downtown, get a smoothie. Sometimes I do this and that. So I'm like, wear and tear, I'm going to put it on. And I got a job right now that's taking me way, far out. So I was just like, I don't care about wear and tear. But you do think about time. Is there some way I could be spending my time more effectively? Could I be spending my time around people, doing stuff that I want to do? And a lot of us are running, because we don't want a boss. We like this independent stuff. But you have to still look at, is this the only independent gig out here that I can do that will support my lifestyle? But I'm going to cut this short. I'm also, if I start getting, I ask people to do this, okay? Because sometimes I can deal with people's comments and stuff, but sometimes people are just trying to be trolls. So basically, I'd say anybody that disputes what I say, what I'm talking about, and thinks I'm totally wrong, make a YouTube video. I will respond to that. If I start seeing a bunch of just negative comments, I'll just disable the comments. But everybody that wants to fix this situation and knows, how to solve this stuff, post a YouTube video and be straight and honest, like I was. And there's another guy on here that was straight and honest, and do a YouTube video. But I'm going to stop. I'm definitely going to stop, because the comment section is always toxic. Always, and even, I get on and I'm just like, I joke, but someone may look at my comment and be like, man, and that may be emotionally draining when they read my comment. But on some of these issues, I really feel like, make a YouTube video, make a solution, or talk about a solution and go from there versus trying to argue with a YouTuber on their view. Cause I'm living it, I'm not making, I didn't make $700 this week. I didn't, I started looking at other videos saying, you need to decline these little penny, these weak orders. Okay. And I did that, and I'm looking at it as like, but in the back of my mind, like, people's paying for fast food. They don't want to pay. If they pay $5 for a hamburger, they want to pay $5 for a hamburger and have your ass out there delivering it. They don't want to pay $5 and pay you 20 or whatever, and it's just like, okay, what's going on? Are we in an economy where people got the extra money to hand out at tips? No. And we carry cards. Everyone carries cards. And I try not to really, sometimes you want to go out to a nice restaurant and people expect you, when you're at the night restaurant to tip big, but sometimes you're like, man, today I ain't got it. I might come back when I get my money right and tip. But that's, even then, that's not right to the wait staff, because they may not be there because they're trying to, like, man, I got to get somewhere else where I'm getting tips right now. I can't wait for you to get yourself right to get me right. So, it's just whatever. But, I don't know how as a society we're going to fix this. And like I said, the companies, they're trying to, they're thinking about profit for them. They're not thinking about profit. They're not thinking about making like all these individual drivers financially successful. And, but what I wanted to say about the quick cash, if you're taking that quick DoorDash cash and paying down, debt and these high interest rate credit cards, well, maybe that's feasible for you, but know that in the end, you get hit with, having to get your oil changed more frequently, wear and tear on your vehicle, And there's been areas that, to me, here in Colorado, that put more wear and tear in their vehicle than others. I drove up to Manitou, smooth sailing, and then you come back down, it's like potholes, and then even like the wear and tear, the accidental wear and tear in their vehicle. Like I said, if I was to drive some other vehicle up to Manitou, slip and slide in the snow, end up hitting somebody, and then it's just like, man, this is what a horrible night, whatever. So, and then also too is I was looking at YouTube, and if running into those, bad, just a customer interaction turning violent. I thought this was going to go bad, but I had delivered an orange juice. Well, no, I delivered a meal. And the guy opened the door, and there was apple juice. And I was concerned about the apple juice because the apple juice wasn't actually filled all the way to the top. It was like that. You saw like there was a big gap, and I was just like, man. But I didn't do anything at the restaurant. I should have been like, hey, can you top that off? But I didn't do anything. But immediately when I got to the door, the guy was like looking at the apple juice, and he looked back at me. And I was just like, oh God, is this guy going to complain about the apple juice not being topped up? And he was like, babe, did you order orange juice? And I was like, oh God, they messed up his order. And she was like, no, I ordered apple. She's like, no, I ordered apple juice. And I was like, shh. But he looked like he was going to start, going off on me. And the thing though is like people, I used to have a bad temper as a kid because I got picked on a lot as a kid. And, I got in a lot of fights and I never got in a fight because I was like starting it. But sometimes I don't know what it is about me. Maybe it's these glasses now, but people look at me as like, hey, that's the fool I should mess with. But I'm letting you know that's not what you should do. But with that, anybody out here scrapping with customers and all these people out in the streets, it's not a good look because you can end up in jail. If you end up knocking somebody out and no one's going to see, like when the DoorDash, you're at the door and you get in these conflicts with people, nobody's going to see what actually went on. They're just like, man, DoorDash driver just went crazy and socked the dude up. No, he might have called you the N-word. He might have done whatever. Not saying that warrants it, but because you got to hold your composure, but you don't know what happens. Like, let's say, for instance, even, you're there and you're in the doorway and the customer slams the door and it hits you in the face. I've had that happen. I haven't had that happen to me at DoorDash, but I had that happen at my job where I got hit in the door, manager slammed the door in my face, and I instantly kicked the door down and continued to charge, but I didn't put hands on him. But you got to realize is that sometimes these customers are they're gonna push your buttons. And you always, in the back of your mind, you always got to think, man, is it worth it? I've had, like I said, my temper is not as bad as it was. But when I see other videos, like people at McDonald's and all this stuff, and they're like, you work at McDonald's, man, I'm trying to make a living. You ain't paying me. You gonna clown me for, what I ain't got, and you ain't trying to help me out. But people, get on edge, and I just try to stay out of those situations. I mean, I feel for the people. Like sometimes even when you're in a restaurant and you're seeing someone treat someone poorly, and you're just like, man, and I a lot of times I talk to people afterwards, or I'll say something to wait staff, because like one night I went to Applebee's and I saw this one black chick, and she was running around, doing tables, doing all this stuff, and there's one guy that was coking and joking with one of the employees, playing some cell phone game, the whole time. And then I remember, so the other guy directed her I had a big DoorDash delivery, and he directed her to open the door for me. And then when she opened the door for me, I said, thank you. I said, but I said, it does look like you're the only one here hustling. Because she was the only one there. Everyone else was jaw jacking. The manager was in the back doing some crazy stuff. And it's just like, accountability is what shapes our world. The less we hold people accountable and treat people with fairness and treat people the way we want to be treated, the worse the world gets, So, and that, there's it's slowly changing. I mean, I think some people are being held more accountable for their actions and stuff, and other people are not. But you know, you have to treat people with fairness, and also too is like I was saying about the comments. You know, no, like people want to quickly you know, diminish what someone else says, but sometimes people have truth to add to the conversation, and both sides should work on a solution versus trying to trash somebody for their own personal opinion. But I'm gonna call this short. I'm gonna cut this short. I got some stuff to do. I don't know if I'm gonna do any dashing today. Like I said, I'm not. You know, I'm kind of not feeling it, and I don't know. You know what? I don't know how it's going to change. You know, even if DoorDash drivers, everyone stops driving, but basically happens, they just take the money and run. And, you know, people are out here stuck, still trying to find another avenue to make some quick income. But peace out.